I was born in prison. I was born in HMP style. So he gives me the crack to sell and he says to me, make sure you pay me or I'll shoot you. What did I go and do? I went and smoked it all. Took me round the corner, pulled a big 357, big massive long nose revolver and just went boom, boom. And one of the shots has hit me, yeah? Blew a hole in my leg. I get the urge to ring her. Something just tells me ring her. She burst into tears and said, he's just beat me up. I'm on the gay village crying her eyes out. So I get her on the back of my BMX, you know?
As you do.
Like the white horse. That's the true white horse in it. And I ride off into the sunset with her, yeah?
What's going on, guys? This video is sponsored by Louis. Some of you know him on Insta as Loads, one of the best Instagram names, let me tell you that. Guys, Louis has been building online businesses for the last 5 to 10 years, and he has spent the last 5 years coaching others one-to-one on how to start businesses. Louis's got over 2,000 profitable testimonials, and guys, let me be honest with you, I wouldn't let someone sponsor the show who I didn't vouch for, so trust me, it's legit. Literally, just go send him a DM on Instagram, it's @Loads. All you got to do is say to him, I come from the Bluetick Show, help me make some money. And I know most of these people out there scams, and there's plenty of people out there offering you millions and millions of pounds and stuff like that. Louis is one of the 1% who actually do it properly, legitly. You don't need nothing. All you literally need is a phone and Wi-Fi. Send him a message and leave the rest to him. Guys, and if you want to know why I'm sitting here pushing it so much, it's because realistically, doing a 9 to 5 ain't going to get you nowhere. And I know most people sit here and say this because they're getting some sort of commission for it and stuff like that, but I really ain't. I'm telling you as a good person, the host of the show, doing a 9 to 5 ain't going to get you nowhere. So go message Louis, say you come from the Bluetick Show, just ask Louis for the business model, let him do the explaining, and let him explain to you how he can help you. I'll see you soon. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Bluetick Show. And opposite me today, I've got a couple who have been through a lot. I've got Lee Marvin Hitchman, who was born in prison. Yes, born in prison. And I've got Kira. Kira survived one of Manchester's biggest serial rapists. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show. We've all got smiles on our face, but the story's nothing to smile about. But we're here today to tell it.
That's it. We're both fighters and survivors and battlers, so we can tell it well, you know.
Listen, that's what we're here for today.
That's it, yeah.
Marvin, I want to start off with you.
Okay.
I want you to tell me your story, and then we'll move over to your partner and she can tell her story.
Right, so I was born in prison. I was born in HMP style. My mum was a prisoner. She was on the mother and baby unit. I found out later that my dad was also in prison as well. So my mum was undecided whether to keep me or not, and it turns out that she was being told if she was to give me away, I'd be given to 2 doctors. So her being an addict, she thought that'd be a better life. So eventually she signed me away for adoption. So then I was in an orphanage for a while, and I was picked up by a Welsh woman. Who was a lovely Welsh woman. She was lovely, and a Jamaican man. He wasn't so nice. He was a bit strict, but later on I was to learn that I was born in distress. So I used to wrap my head round a pillow and bang my head off a pillow. Mm-hmm. Clearly I was missing things in my life, but also I'd wee the bed as well. So me wee in the bed, I'd have this reoccurring dream that I was mopping the floor. Yeah. So I'd be asleep thinking I'm mopping the floor. I'd wake up, I'd be weed the bed. So that'd be it. Then the wrath of my dad would come through and he'd go mad and he wouldn't know how to deal with it, so he'd pull his belt off, or he'd get his bamboo cane from the fishing bamboo cane, or even to extremes. I can remember him once rubbing my face in the wee, you know what I mean, which was very, very disturbing and distressing for me. Even as a baby, I can remember it very, very vividly. So you know, I didn't bond with him at all. So I used to run away up from home a lot, and there was a lot of derelict buildings in my area at the time.
What area was it? What area was you living in?
Central Manchester, okay. It is, yeah. So I was in and out of a lot of empty houses and stuff like that, and also was petty stealing from the newsagents. But I was later to find out you're comfy eating, like I'm eating chocolate bars like it's the best thing since sliced bread, you know. So I was young and we was getting into little bits of trouble and drama and stuff like that. So I got to 8 years of age and I was following the glue sniffers. The lads was glue sniffing. Anyway, I tried the glue. And because I was so torn as a baby inside, because my adoptive mum had told me I was very special as a baby, that she picked me, okay? So because I was torn inside and I got this high off this, hit off this glue.
What age did this all start?
8 years of age.
8
solvent,
years?
Yeah.
Wow.
I tried the solvent at 8. And as soon as I tried it, I thought, wow, this is like this world is a different place, you know. The world was a very hard place for me at the time, so I thought this was much, much nicer to be in. I know it was wrong now. Solvent abuse is wrong and it can kill you instantly. It's a very, very dangerous thing to do, you know. I'm just warning the kids now, solvents are a no-no. But at the time, that was my escape. So I moved on to gas, okay, and I tried gas.
What's going on, guys? It's your host, Mikey Mellin. I just want to say thank you all so much for the support. Guys, I need a massive favour. Before we dive into this video, scroll down, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Let's go.
Now,
what's gas?
Butane gas, what you fill your lighter with.
Okay.
So I'd stick one of them in my mouth and we'd just press on it into your teeth and you just let the gas go right into your system. And when I got the gas, there was this reoccurring nursery rhyme, what would reoccur in my mind, like a musical sound. And for some reason, it brought me closer to my birth mum. So I don't know if it was when I was born, I was like being played a nursery rhyme, what I could remember. But when I was on the gas, it seemed to take me closer to my mum, my birth mum. And that's where I wanted to be. So, you know, I'd take gas as often as I could. I got caught off home off my adoptive sister. I had an adoptive sister at home. She was 5 years older than me. Tragically, she died in 2020 of a drug overdose. So at the time, my sister caught me doing the butane gas, whacked me round the head, told my mum and dad. So they knew then that I was, inquiring about different things, and I was very, very wanted to try everything, you know. So it was red lights for that straight away, you know. So we moved house at 11 years of age, and we moved only half a mile over the hill. But to me, it was like another area because I wasn't allowed over the hill. You know, we'd moved. So there was these big 4 flats opposite where we moved to. I met this lad in the flats who was a lot older than me. He was about 16 or 17. And I had a games console, like a little cassette thing, and he said to me he had some games for it. So then, I mean, he took me to his bedroom, but then he's looking out of his window, and we went over to his friend's house. He said, come, my mate's got some games. It turns out the guy was a paedophile. He took me to a man's house in his 50s. His mum was in her 80s in the living room. So I go to this front door and there's this old man there, and this old man just drags me into his bedroom. He has this big wooden toolbox behind his door. He drags it across, and starts licking my face, tore my clothes off, and I was raped, okay? So my head was ripped apart. I didn't know what to do, like I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know what to do. I was too young to be able to comprehend such a thing happening.
Did you tell your mum and dad?
No, I was scared to, because I've been told don't go in the flats and all that lot, stay out the flats, and I felt like it was my fault, you know. I wasn't close enough to my dad to tell him, do you know what I mean? Like, me and him wasn't close, so I just kept it to myself. The next day,
How
I
old
go
was
to
you?
school, about 11, so I go to secondary school the next day, and I feel like all my mates in school know. I'll never forget the feeling. I just thought everyone was going to say, you was raped last night, or you was abused. I just thought, you know what I mean? So I got home from school, and unbelievably, the guy was in my mum and dad's house in the hallway talking to my mum and dad. He drove round. He knew what time I was coming home from school. He was a delivery driver. He drove round, parked his van outside my mum and dad's house. And when I've got there, he was saying, oh, here he is, helping my mum yesterday, going shopping for her. And I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? And he's like talking to my mum, trying to like befriend my mum and stuff. And I wasn't sure if they'd known each other before, you know, because the way they're talking and stuff. And he said, oh, can he come round regularly to help my mum? Like, my mum's like elderly.
Wow.
And literally, the guy would come to my house and pick me up and take me to deliveries, and then, you know, he'd have his wicked way with me, you know what I mean? And it got to like, I was troubled, I was playing up in school, I was throwing things at teachers, I was fighting with teachers, I was being excluded, the lessons suspended, you know what I mean? I couldn't concentrate. But I didn't know how to deal with it, I didn't know what to do. So I just kept it to myself and I had to deal with that. So I got to like 13, 14, and then I started just telling him no and finding the strength to just, you know, avoid him and stuff like that. You know, I started getting angry about it and stuff. Anyway.
So this went on for that many years?
Yeah, it went on for a good couple of summers, yeah. So, yeah, it was a torrid time, to say the least. But so I straight away I started trying different drugs. There was LSD and amphetamine and cannabis had come around then. You know, it was like the rave scene was about then. So you know, I jumped straight onto the rave scene, taking loads of drugs to try and grind my mind out of all these troubles. You know,
And your mum and dad never noticed nothing?
They never noticed. I was a runaway by then. I kept running away from home as long as possible, so the police would bring me back in and I run away again, do you know what I mean? So I couldn't settle, you know?
Yeah.
And my adoptive mum, she used to say to me, you're missing something in your life. Go and find your birth family. But I always felt like I wouldn't want to find them while my mum was alive, you know what I mean? My adoptive mum, I felt like it would be wrong to. So we're in and out the dance clubs and all that. So I'm 17, I'm in this dance club dancing and I've got loads of money, I've just sold drugs in the club and I see this girl dancing anyway, she turns out she lives near me. So we said we'll go back to hers and I'm dabbing whizzing, Rizzler, amphetamine.
This video is sponsored by Cranbrook Law, an award-winning immigration law firm. Their talented solicitors can help when any struggles arise regarding immigration law. They can help get you the visas they need. They can help get you the staff you need from any other countries. As you can see, the website is on the screen right now. So if you need anything to do with immigration law, message Cranbrook Law and let them help you. Whether you're looking to obtain a sponsor license, receive advice and guidance in relation to compliance and our civil penalties, or take advantage of our know-how and experience across a broad range of business visas, our talented and dynamic immigration lawyers are available to speak to you. Telephone numbers on the screen, emails on the screen, and hit the link in the bio if you need any help.
So she said to me, have you tried cocaine? So I sort of tried it, kind of showing off, right? So what she did is she just went, stay there, and she come behind me and brought this thing in front of me and went, suck on this. And just, all I did is put my mouth in it and sucked it. It was crack cocaine. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I just thought it was cocaine. So I sucked this in, and this feeling, what I felt, it was like all the drugs combined. It was like, wow. This is it. This is the drug I've been searching for, like an escape, you know what I mean? Because bear in mind, I've been taking drugs for many, many years by this time.
But nothing's
you know
like crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine is the most dangerous drug on the planet. It's the most addictive in the world. Yeah, they class it as one of the most addictive drugs on the planet. For a reason, let me tell you, because when I tried crack cocaine, it was just like, it was all, everything combined. I've always said it was like the icing on the cherry on the cake, okay?
Yep.
Because it was everything I ever wanted. And what I did is I went to my best friend's house and give it him to try. Most stupidest thing ever. But at the time, it was the right thing to do. But we was both, I didn't know what it was. I just went, mate, you think them E's was good last night? Check this out. And next minute, we're both crack addicts. So we both agreed that we wouldn't buy crack up through the week. We'd only buy it at weekends, okay? And it got to, obviously, you can't do that. Crack cocaine is highly, highly addictive. Before you know it, at the time I was selling cannabis from a block of flats. I'd met a girl and she lived in a block of flats local to where I live, so I was using her house to selling drugs from. And I straight away kind of turned against her because I was a crack addict by then, you know what I mean? And she got pregnant. And, you know, a son had came along. There was a baby involved. But I was a crack addict. I didn't know how to raise a child. I'd never wanted. It wasn't something what we'd planned or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of turned away from that. It was the wrong thing to do. You know, I should have turned towards it, got off the crack cocaine and accepted responsibility. But I was too immature to, obviously. I didn't know what I was doing. Do you know what I mean?
And you were on drugs.
Yeah, I was addicted to crack. I tried to run from it, do you know? I remember her catching me one day. She came down back to the flat because she'd moved into her mum's house. She came to the flat one day and I was smoking crack on the side and she walked in and she went, you're going to be a crackhead. You're a crackhead. And
Did she ever take any drugs?
Well, this is the thing. Her first boyfriend was a crack dealer. I found out, she told me later. So she'd been around crack before I even knew what it was. So she went, you're going to be a crackhead. She brushed it all off all over onto the floor and I'm just ignoring her, just trying to look for these little pieces of crack on the floor.
Yep.
And she's going, you're going to be a crackhead. I'll never forget it. And I turned and ran from her, you know what I mean? So that's what I did. I ran from my responsibilities. I'm smoking crack in somebody's house on the estate and someone says to me, "Oh, you know that lad down the road selling heroin, don't you? Used to come buy weed off you." So I went, "Really? He's an heroin dealer now. What's he doing selling smack round here?" And I felt aggrieved that he's selling heroin on my estate, right? So I went down there.
Did you have a bit of a name back then as well?
Yeah, I had a little name because, I was a drug dealer and stuff, so everyone knew who I was, you know what I mean, right? So I'm walking down the road and I said to some lad, "Do you want to come and do a graph with me?" So he said, yeah. So I said, "Hold this." I passed him a machete. So he put it down his sleeve. Luckily, it never got used. I've knocked on the front door. I've said to the lad, "What are you doing selling smack?" You walked in, there's 5 lads in the house, drug phones, I got ring jewellery. So I just took over and just started robbing them, took the money off the side, took a bracelet, you know what I mean, bits and bats. Walked out the back door, went back up the road, gave this kid a few quid and went about my business. Little did I know.
They never reacted?
No, he kind of was a bit scared of me, do you know what I mean? Because I went in like a madman, you know? So little did I know, they'd went and phoned the police, but not said they was heroin dealers and just said I'd walked in the house and robbed them, all right? So I get arrested, and the evidence they had was the machete. The lad who I was with had threw the machete in the back garden unbeknown to me. I forgot about the machete, so I never thought of it. But they give me bail, okay, because I was saying, "Look, this is bullshit. I've not done this," you know what I mean? Deny.
Was this the first time you ever got arrested?
It was one. No, I'd already been arrested for robbery at 13 and been convicted at 14. So I'd been already in the criminal system, do you know what I mean? I'd been arrested for theft numerous times. But
this was the most serious at this age.
Yeah, this is what I mean. I'd been a petty offender going up all my life, going in and out the stores and shoplifting and whatnot, getting nicked off street theft. Like I say, I was a runaway, so I was always running. So go back to the crack. So I quickly became a crackhead. This lad, I get bail. This lad, anyway, one of the lads from the house, I see him walking up to the local supermarket. So I run out of this house, kick his leg from underneath him, put my knee to his throat and said, "What are you doing, grassing me up to the police? What have you told the police for?" So he said, "Oh, I want me, it was the others in the house, and I'll sort it out." Anyways, as soon as he's got up, he went straight back to the police and told him that I've caught him, so I'm remanded in custody. The next thing, I go into Hindley Prison, which is a young offenders unit, young offenders institution, and it was like hell on earth. There is a bed frame, there's a piss bucket, there's no toilet, there is just a window covered in these bars, and it stinks. There's excrement on the walls, there's spit, there's blood, right? There's just everything. You open the broken windows, and it was like a whole community of insects and millipedes and centipedes. It was the most grossest thing on the planet. And the reason why is because there was excrement because you'd have to poo on A4 pieces of paper if you was really dying for a poo. You'd have to poo on paper, fold it up and push it through the little window squares, it was disgusting. And because of over the years that had happened and people had missed and there was poo dried on the windows, animals had started living on it. So it was like a fascinating little community in itself. But this was hell for us. We was living like animals, you know what I mean? And all as I did in prison is got speaking to people who were doing most serious crimes and doing worse things. I was just a petty 2-bit robber, street robber. I didn't know how to make money, you know what I mean?
How was the first day inside?
It was quite scary, to be honest. But the difference for me was I was born in prison, and I knew I was born in prison, so I'd never had no fear for prison, do you know what I mean? As soon as I got to prison, I was born in one of these places.
Back home?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I never told anyone my story. I always kept it to myself. Yeah. Only a few people knew my story, So that was me then, crackhead, in and out of custody, repeat offender, okay, addicted to crack. So when I get out, I've got nowhere to go. I go to where all the crack's being sold. And at the time, there was a reputation called Gunchester. Yep. Manchester had the reputation Gunchester. And because of wise, there was 2 armed gangs on one estate, and they was both shooting at each other. Basically, they was killing each other. I had to go to the most dangerous place in Manchester to make money because I was a crack addict.
Even after prison, it never stopped you?
So when I was in prison, I swore every day I would never touch crack cocaine again.
Was there drugs in prison?
There wasn't crack cocaine. okay? And I was getting little bits of cannabis on my visits, okay?
Cannabis is different to crack cocaine. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I know, I know.
Wasn't that your opportunity to say, you know what, enough now?
It was. But the thing was, this is the thing, okay? So I had that strength every single day. I said, I'm never touching crack again. I'm never going to touch it again. I'm never going to touch it again. And the minute I walked out of the gate with my discharge money, all as I wanted to do was buy crack cocaine. Nothing else. That's all I wanted was crack.
Do you reckon that was your way out?
I don't think I had a way out. I think I was an addict and I had no one to tell me what to do. I had no pressure of anyone saying don't do it and don't this and that, you know. And I liked it. It was the nicest thing since sliced bread. You know, it's crack cocaine. And so I was going to the crack dealer saying, can I start working for you? Like, can I get you some customers and like just flag the cars down? And I was in and out of these parks where these literal gunmen sat there, you know, waiting for their enemies to come, and I'm dealing with these men and I'm getting in customers, and I'm in and out the city centre because I know all the working girls, you know. So where I was doing street robberies all my life is down where the red light area. So I knew everyone from the red light area, and all the little street robbers was all my friends because we all used to roll together. So when they're doing a graft and coming to my side to look for crack, they're stopping me and going, yo, Marv, who's got the best white? Come and take me. Yeah. So I'm going into gang territory for them, and I'm doing that night after night, day after day. But when it's like going a bit quiet, like I'm mooching into houses and getting into empty houses what are unoccupied, because I know some of the lads who own properties and they're saying to me, Marv, if you get into an empty house, got any nice new plug sockets and switches and a new bath, let me know and I'll come and take it all out and pay you. You know, so I'm going down the rows of terraced houses looking for the unoccupied houses, getting into them and clearing them out for the boys to do their own houses up. But obviously, you know, there's times when everything's not rosy. I'm a crack addict. So once, for example, a known gunman had said to me, Marv, do you want to have 2 rocks and start working for me because I'm too busy shooting people, this guy, yeah? So he's a gangster, gangbanger. They roll around in a gang of cars with a gang of bunch of guns, go shoot looking for their enemies. So he can't be bothered selling crack. So he gives me the crack to sell, and he says to me, make sure you don't smoke it, or make sure you pay me or I'll shoot you. What did I go and do? I went and smoked it all, okay?
How are you giving a crackhead crack to go and sell? Like, be serious now, do you know what I mean?
I know, but I understand why he did it. He was trying to give me a little squeeze. He's seen me on the corner, he's knew me for years, he's thought, Marv, I'll give him a little squeeze while I'm busy shooting people. You know, he's not gonna, so I smoked it.
Makes sense, does it?
A couple of days later, I seen him and I said, bro, I've smoked it, I'm sorry, man, but, you know, I'll get you the money. So he's gone, right, here's some more, right? He gave me more and said, you owe me a bit more money on top of this now, yeah? But I think I kind of wangled him and said, no, give me some more and I'll probably work this one for you, baby. I ended up smoking him again. And I thought, I can't see him this time, I can't face him, you know what I mean? Deep in my mind, I thought, I'm going to get shot, but I just didn't care kind of thing. So it's a couple of days have gone by and I'm in the city centre. My mate said, bro, I've got some money, let's go and buy some crack. So I said, have you got enough to give me like a $1? And he's gone, nah, man, nah, I've got like, I'll give you 40 quid. And I'm thinking, shall I go and give the kid the 40 quid or shall I get him to go and buy me crack? What did I do? Got a pirate taxi. I'm sat outside the club in the area where the guy is from. I'm trying to hide while my mate's gone to buy me crack, you know. Instead, I should have went in, give the boy the money and went, mate, that's 40
So he's
quid off my
buying the
bill.
crack from the same guy as well?
He's buying crack from the same gang.
Okay.
So as he's in there, one of the gang's friends has come out up and down the road because, you know, they keep an eye on what's going on. Seen me in the back of the taxi and gone, yo, Marv, blah, blah, you owe blah, blah money. He's looking for you, he's in there, wait there. I thought, no. Fuck. And my boy's not come back by this time, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, shit. And the boys come out who knows, like the gangster, and he's gone, yo, come here, I want Marv, come here. You took the piss, you come here. He took me round the corner, pulled a big 357, big massive long nose revolver, and just went boom, boom. And one of the shots has hit me, yeah? So now, luckily it missed my tibial and fibula, I later found out, okay? Just blew a hole in my leg. So I've managed to get to the car. By this time, my mate's come back. And we're in a pirate taxi. I harassed the guy, keys in. So I go to my mate, yo, I've just been shot. So he's gone, what? You've just been shot, you know, fuck shot you. Yeah, come and shoot me, he's saying. But as I've got in the car, I said, mate, just sit in the car, because all the gangsters are out now, all the boys are out.
Yeah.
And they're all buzzing off me, man, you've just been shot, you deserve it. So, as soon as I get in the back with my mate, the driver, just runs off, leaves the door open, runs off, the keys in the ignition. So I say to my mate, drive the car. So instead of going to the hospital like a normal sane person would, I drive straight past the hospital, go to the city centre, get my crack off the boy, go and sit in a nightclub, go in a nightclub, what's downstairs.
While you've got a bullet wound in your leg?
Yeah, while a bullet's pumping blood out my leg. Yeah, it's pissing blood, okay?
Normal.
So I got to the toilet. I'd been watching Rambo films, so I thought it was Rambo. I took my t-shirt off and I tied it.
It's not even funny, but
I tied it round my leg, yeah? But because I'm smoking the pipe of crack, my blood was pumping out faster. So there's blood everywhere, you know, I'm looking at my leg and I'm touching it and there's blood prints. So all I hear next minute is some woman scream, there's blood everywhere. So I look down and think, shit, there's pure blood everywhere. And there's, you know, toilets dip like that, so to the drain, so my blood's running to the drains, you know what I mean? There's literally blood.
Yeah. So
I'm thinking, I'm going to have to do something here. So the guy who's on the door, I've gone and seen him and I said, and he's gone, bro, I've just heard you I said, I've been shot, bro. So he's gone, let me get a black bag. So he's put a black bag in his car. He's gone, let me take you to the hospital, Marv. So I said, all right, then you can take me as long as you give me 20 quid. So literally, the guy's taking me to the hospital to save my life, and all I'm thinking about is £20 to buy more crack when I get out. So I get discharged. I discharge myself when they've messed with it. They leave a big piece of wadding in my leg. I get discharged. I'm back on and out the streets, okay? Then it comes to, I go back to Moss Side and I'm back around the area, and we're robbing customers, like the housing estates where all the gang members serve up from. We're going on the estate at night. These customers coming to buy crack.
And when you're saying we're going, how many of you are
me
there?
and a friend of mine, 2 of us. We're pretending,
both crackheads?
Yeah. So my mate now is doing life for a murder. Wow. But at the time, he was a crackhead. But before I met him, he was a well-known gang member. But he'd lost his eye through a shooting. He used to be a boxer and he'd lost his eye, so he turned into a crack addict. So me and him were standing on this estate pretending to be drug dealers. People are driving in onto the avenue, we're flagging him down, and gives you money, and just ripping them off, getting off, or like causing drama. Yeah. So we get a warning anyway. Next minute, I'm stood there one Saturday morning, this car goes past with a mate of mine who's knew me for many, many years. He said, Marv, come here. I only seen me the other day. I said, come here. You wanted? He said, right. Blah, blah wants to see you because you've been robbing shots on the estate last night. Don't lie, it wasn't you, right? We know it was you. And blah, blah, your mate. So I've gone, oh, bro, man, I'm going to get a squeeze. I'm going to get shot. So he's gone, nah, you won't get shot. You know, now I realise they ain't going to shoot a crackhead for fucking robbing customers. You know what I mean? They're not going to waste a murder charge. But at the time, I didn't know. I said, bro, I'm going to get shot. He goes, nah, you're just going to get beat about. But you can't hit him back because you know he's just been shot in the head. So the guy who's taking me to see a gang leader has recently been shot in the head, so he's got a scar from here to the back of his neck. And now I'll tell you how I know that later on. But anyway, so we go around into this avenue, which is a notorious gang territory, and there's a load of gang members there with ballys on, masks on. But I know the 2 of them start beating me, a father and son duo, start beating me up with bottles, and he's got an English Bull Terrier. He's putting that on me, so that's chewing at my legs, but I can't feel the pain because I'm high on crack. So I start thinking to myself, Marv, you better start screaming because they're going to kill you if you don't start making no noises, right? And it was around bonfire night, so they're letting off air bomb repeaters as well. I can't remember if they're firing them at the dog, but it was air bomb repeaters going off, so it was loud and flashing noises. So I've gone, so the dog's chewing me, and I start screaming. And I make this big loud scream, and he's like, right, fuck off now, fuck off. So I start walking and I start apologising again like an idiot. He goes, what have I fucking told you? And then he goes to put the dog on me, but this guy who's there with him, who I know, like I used to smoke with him in the night time, he's got the dog and said, Marv, go. Got hold of the dog and said, go, round this corner. Yeah. So I went and nursed my wounds, didn't go to the hospital again, just true crackhead style, not even bothering to go to the hospital, do you know what I mean? And That's what I did. I survived crack addiction in gun territory, trying to live off the back end of trying to earn money off these gang members and gangbangers who've all gunned and armed. And I'm trying to earn a few quid, and we're crackheads trying to make money off there. But I'm in and out the city centre, you know, I'm a street robber, so it gets to me doing that a good few years, you know. And
Where was you living at this point?
I was living in and out of empty houses and stuff, and
So
friends' houses.
you was homeless, and
Yeah, I was homeless, living in and out of friends' houses
your
and stuff.
family that was taking care of you. What happened to
I
them?
had no family by then. I'd been disowned off my adoptive dad. You know, he'd said he never wanted to speak to me again while I was a drug addict. You know, so I'm living at a mate's house in Hume at the time. So it gets to New Year's Eve, one New Year's Eve, and I put my full face balaclava on. Borrowed a BMX out of the neighbour's garden. Yeah, riding into the city centre. I'm thinking it's New Year's Eve. I've got a few quid. I'm gonna do a couple of quick robberies there and get out of Dodge. Okay. And I'm riding down this road, and I see this guy who I hate with a passion, because I know he's got his sister on the game, because I speak to his sister when I'm going on the red light area. And I see him with this young girl, and it turns out it's this young girl, Kira. So I said to him, yo, what are you doing with her? You better not put her on that beat, you know. And she stood there like that, and I said to him, you better leave her alone. If I see her on that beat, I'm going to smash you all over. So he's going, nah, he's pretending to be drunk. He's going, nah, I'm not doing that. So he's watching his Spa to go and buy beer or whatever. So I said to her, what are you doing with him? He's a monster. He's horrible. He's a little... He'll get you on the crack and on the game. I said, you better not be a prostitute, you. And she's like, hey, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? And all that proper attitude, yeah? And there was this girl who knows me and seemed to be with her. So I said, do you know her? So I said to her, take my number if you need me for anything. Just ring me, you know what I mean? But she stuck in my mind, this one. Because I was thinking, he's going to get her on the game, him. He's a little rat animal. So I go about my business, and about 2 hours later, I get the urge to ring her. Something just tells me, ring her. And I ring the number, and she burst into tears and said, he's just beat me up. I'm on the gay village, crying her eyes out. So I get the BMX, ride over to the gay village. I'm there, but she's outside the bar. He's gone in a bar. So she's crying. So I get her on the back of my BMX, you know, like the white horse. That's the true white horse, innit? And I ride off into the sunset with her, yeah? So I start talking to her, and I say, listen, girl, you need to get away from him, because he's a monster. He's got his sister on the game. He'll get you on the game. He'll get you on crack. You better not be smoking crack. Even though I was a crackhead, I was hiding it from her. Now later...
I know.
You knew, yeah?
I heard him scoring before he even stepped to me. I know.
So
I've been around that.
Listen, now it's time to introduce Kira to the show. Kira, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Not to mention it again, but you are the woman who survived one of Manchester's biggest serial rapists.
That I am, yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
As much as it's a gruesome title to give you, you're here to tell the story.
Absolutely.
So I think that in itself is an achievement.
Thank you.
And welcome to the show. What is your story?
Wow. I got a whole lot of stories. Mate. My life's a whole lot of fucking messed up.
One thing I say is Marvin turned around and said she's a fucking survivor. That's what she is. She's a fucking survivor.
She is, yeah. She's got unbreakable tattooed here on her chest like Tupac, yeah? Tupac had Thug Life tattooed on his chest. She's got unbreakable tattooed on her chest, and she's unbreakable.
That's me.
Mrs. Unbreakable, yeah?
Yeah, so tell him what went on from when you was 15.
My story to tell. You just told yours, boy.
Okay, girl.
Know your place, share. Listen to her,
You
yeah?
tell me this all the time. My life when I was younger, it's a bit messed up. Like, loads of shit went on at home with my mum and my dad. My little brother got cancer when I was 13. So I kind of went off the rails. And
Was you close with your little brother?
yeah, me and my little brother to this day at sight. There's like 2.5 years between me and my little brother. Like where I roll, my little brother rolls. At the moment, not at the moment, because he's getting a bit out of control. So he was 8 at the time. He got throat cancer. So
Wow.
I was 13. There was 4 of us. My dad's a big Irish man because that's where we were born. So yeah, my little brother got cancer. So he was in hospital surviving cancer for the best part of 3 years. So I suppose my dad's at work, my mum's living in a hospital, and we're left to our devices. My older sister's 18 by this time. So I went off the rails, and I'm messing about.
Family upbringing, mum, dad, normal family. Was it anything out of the ordinary or just a normal upbringing?
But my mum and dad were volatile growing up, like arguments, fights.
Never involved in drugs or anything like that?
No. My dad was... No. No, my dad drank. He was an Irishman, but no drugs at all. My dad always, put into me that, drugs was dirty, funny enough. And then, I'm getting kicked in and out of school. My little brother's in remission. But at that time, I think because I got left to my own devices for so long, I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe searching for something, running, whether it be a mother figure, a father figure, just something. And then I guess to 15, I'm only allowed in school for 2 hours a day because I'm off key. And then I used to chill down Hume on my side, and I'm at the bus stop in my school uniform, and I bump into this guy. I'm 15, knows my age, obviously, I'm in my school uniform. Introduces himself, says he's 21. Goes, that's my flat over there, you should come chill sometime. Swap numbers. I think I'm grown. What I've been through, I think I'm like 10 years ahead of the game because I've had to look after myself. So I'm like, all right, this is interesting, this. Because I'm one to hang with the boys, but I'm not like the girl. I'm like, one of the boys. And I start chilling with him, and, within 2 days, my man's smacking me about. Like, he's levering me, he's sleeping with me, he's forcing me to sleep with him. But in my mind, I'm thinking he's my boyfriend. I'm thinking it's normal, because I had a boyfriend before this.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's completely normal. And then I'm going home, and my parents are thinking I've got marks on me because I'm scrapping again, because I'm always scrapping. So I'm sticking to that story. Yeah, I'm fighting. My dad's saying to me, well, you're not going back down there no more. So I'm like running away, going to this guy's house. And it comes to one night, like, he really, he badly beat me. I got a scar hanging from my lip, he split my lip wide open, and I ended up in hospital. And obviously, because I'm 15, you have to, find my next of kin. I'm saying to my dad, the nurse is lying, man. I don't want a boyfriend. I was fighting in my side. You know what I'm like, Dad? He's like, nah, you're grounded. You ain't going back down there no more. So I says to him, all right, well, fuck you then. I put all my shit into one black bag, and I goes down, and I start living with him. Every bit of my life that I known was game over. Like, he's got me now. He's not got me part-time. Yeah. Like, don't have to smack me in the ribs. You don't have to break my ribs.
And why was he hitting you? Was there reasons, or was he just...
I could breathe too loudly for that man. Breathe too loudly. That man had issues when it came to women. Blamed his upbringing with his mother. That man had the worst upbringing going. He ain't never raised his fist to me. He'd raise his voice to me and he just get shut right down. Do you know what I mean? So I don't believe in all them excuses. And then I think I was getting a bit too game for him. Like, see, I was studying in college. I wanted to be an air hostess. I got kicked out, It's all about the look. I'm going in with a black eye. Like, you can't be doing that, do you know what I mean? So...
Did you have friends at this point?
I had one close friend.
And did they never say to you, this is wrong?
I don't think we've done... I hid that much from people. Do you know, I was good at hiding, Like,
in your head, you loved him, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, I loved him. Like, he was the be-all and, he was the end-all.
He had his own place, he was older,
yeah,
you thought he was the man.
He was a bit suave, you know what I mean? He talked like he was one of the boys. I didn't even know his real name at the time. I didn't even know his real name. And then when I moved in with him, I couldn't see my friends, so it's not as if I was with my friend. Like, if he left the flat, I'd sneak into town to try and meet my mum, because I wasn't allowed out, I wasn't allowed to bath. Do you know what I mean? So people didn't know what was going on. Like, obviously, you guess what's going on. I met my mum one time and I've got a black eye, but she knew not even to mention it to me, because she mentioned it to me. I'm going to pick him again, and then she's not even going to see me for that 5 minutes. And then it comes to her head, like, he was lying down and he was taking what he wanted from her, and he was beating me, but it gets to the point where you can put yourself into an out-of-body experience. So see what it is with me. I've been smacked that many times. I don't feel it anymore. Like, I can just bring myself off to a place. It's that, like, where you don't think. And then one night it comes to a head. I got a job and he didn't like it. And I was trying to find a way out.
What was the job?
I was only in a call centre. But it was my little job. It was my first job, and I was trying to find my way out. I knew I could go back home, but I didn't want to go back home. I'm going on between my legs, between my tails, going, ha, I told you so, you know, with my brother and my sister, because they're older, because they were saying to me, you know, you're a dickhead, like, what you doing? But I don't see none of you come to save me.
Did they never try calling the police or anything?
No, none of my family called the police. It was the neighbours that was phoning the police, and it's outcome to head. Because one night he got drunk, and he was a crackhead, and he was trying to force me to smoke crack. I'm not having it. So he's beating me up, and he's lying me down, and he's taking what he takes. So you can do that, but you're not going to force me onto drugs. So I was getting a bit lippy this night, and it was because he had a male boss in a call centre. So of course, I'm a slag, I'm sleeping with him. I don't even know, I've only just done a trial shift, but of course. So I'm getting cocky with him, and, you know, I'm standing toe to toe with him. And I just remember feeling this punch, waking up on the ground, and he's stamping on my stomach. But 2 days before, I'd found out I was pregnant.
Wow.
Obviously to him, I've not long turned 16 by then. He knows, and I know, no one else knows. And he's stamping on my stomach, and he's got these big Timberlands on. So I've got a Timberland footprint.
I know you've heard this story plenty of times. I know you have.
Yeah.
But when you hear it, how does this make you feel?
It makes me so frustrated and angry.
Because I can see there you're twitching.
Yeah.
You're sitting there. Yeah, I can see by your side.
Yeah,
you're
but
literally
the story,
looking left and right, and you want to jump and eat this man alive right now.
You know that, you know. But I did though.
Okay, we get to that. No problem. I'm gonna kick you out.
I did.
Go ahead.
So he used to just do things to me like, he cut my hair off, took my clothes off me, didn't have a phone, wasn't allowed to wear makeup, and then like I said, I was going toe to toe with him, I was growing a spine, do you know what I mean? I was beginning to hate him. I was seeing him for what he was. Found out he had a girlfriend in Liverpool who was pregnant. So I get why he stamped the baby out of me, because I lost the baby. He stabbed me in my leg. Probably
one of the best things that could have happened though.
Yeah. You know what? The universe works in mysterious places, and it was the best thing, because now that I've turned out to be a teenage mum to him, you know.
You'd never lived with yourself, would you know? And you had a kid to him.
No.
Looking at him all day.
No. And so this night it came to a standstill. He stabbed me in my leg. He lived up. There was one flat there, and there was one flat below. He threw me off the balcony flats, crashed down. They even break a bone. That's when the neighbours have come out. And they've took me to the hospital, and I've walked in, and like literally my eyes closed over and everything. And I've never took a beating like that. Like, I'm a scrapper in school. I prefer to scrap with the boys. I'm not into all that, your nails out and scratching. So, I can take a dig, but it was just, what he did to me was ridiculous. So as he's gone to stab me that night, he's severed his tendon in his finger. So he's been took to one hospital. I'm in another hospital. So I've come in, and obviously me and a neighbour have told him who's done it. So I'm ringing him.
Was this the first ever time you've actually told someone now?
Yeah. It was the first time I'd ever opened my mouth and be like, yeah, he did it. Because to me, that was my business. That was my pain.
Your issue.
My family had been through enough with my little brother. My little brother was only still in remission. Like, I was an outsider in the world. Like, I never fitted in school. I never had a clique of friends, that I clicked with. I always say I was a weird child, and it only comes out years later down the line. I've got bipolar. So, it makes sense why, I've always felt weird. So, anyway, I'm ringing in, I'm saying to him, I'm so sorry, I'll never wind you up again. I promise. So he's like, I'll come and get you from the hospital, don't tell the nurse.
That's just narcissist, toxic behaviour, innit?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that they were listening in on the call. So he's arranging to come down, and he gets there, and I'm responsible around the hospital. And obviously, to me, the police are the enemy. Like, let him go. What you doing? He's sorry.
How old are you?
I've just turned 16.
Wow.
Barely 16.
All of this has happened and you're 16
All
years
this
old.
has happened. So the police are my enemy now. I'm saying, leave him alone. Just leave him alone. So he gets arrested. He gets took to the police station. But because he severed his finger, they've got to take him to get some surgery done on his finger. So then social services become involved.
You're 16 years old at this point.
I think it was something like 2 days after my 16th. This
You're a baby.
was going on. And then I'm phoning in and I'm saying to him, where are you? But they've put me in like this little B&B thing for battered women and, you know, kids and shit. So I've got no money, and like you're talking, it's from this hospital to the next hospital is miles. So I'm getting a taxi, and obviously, you know, I'm young and my face is a mess. But I've got no money, so I said to the taxi driver, just wait there. So I jumped it. I didn't know that the police was in there. I didn't know how it works. Like, he's been arrested. Like, they're not just letting him go. So I've come in and then they've walked in, but I've already given him the card where I'm staying. So they've gone, you've compromised yourself, Kira. Like, he knows now where you are. So I'm giving, fuck off. I goes back and he goes, your mum and your sister's been here. Nah, I'm getting off, mate. I'm not staying here. But at the time, he's got this crack dealer living with him. And I know that, you know, he's got the keys to the flat. So I go and gets the keys and he goes, what's he done to you again? I go, he didn't do that. I just got jumped in my side. He was like, he's going to kill you, you know. But to me, you're giving him the crack that's sending him off his cake. So I'm blaming the police. I'm blaming the crack dealer. When in my heart, I know it's him. So a couple of hours go by, I'm laying in bed and he walks in the flat. They bailed him.
Fuck off.
They bailed him. They knew that I was back at the flat. So it starts all over again. Promise I'll never do it. Months are going by. And I'm walking around with like one big bruise. And, you know, it comes to this point when they ripped the front door and he smacks it over my head, but he's stamping on it and I can't breathe and he's, you know, continuous. And I've just got a bra on and shorts. Like, me and my dad, we was always like that. And he knew that I had to come back home myself. Like, the more he forced me. And I always had this 50p and he used to say to me, if you're ever in trouble and you need to come home, just put a 50p in a phone box. Phone me, I'll get you home. And I remember thinking, my dad's passed away now. I remember thinking, I phoned him and I went, Dad, it's time, you know, I've got to come home. And I'll never forget his face when I walked in. I'd lost like 3 stone and I wasn't big to begin with. Big black eye. Like, I've got no clothes on. And I promised him that I'm never going to go back, Dad.
That phone call is probably the best phone call he's ever had in his life.
Ever, yeah. Ever.
Like, genuinely, that phone call, getting that from in his eyes, you're his little princess.
Yeah.
No matter what you thought, he hated you. No matter what you thought in that time, when he got that phone call, he probably thought, thank fuck for that.
But then I went again. I broke his heart again. I never went back to live there. Months later, he knew where my mum lived, so he was stalking me. I don't think he'd lost control of everyone. Because when it comes out, he was doing this to girls from care homes. He was putting them on the game. And the more he was trying to force me to have sex with other people, the more
That's what he was trying.
Yeah. The more, because I was living scot-free at his house, I had to earn my money somehow. So he didn't want me to have a normal job in a call centre. That's not making the money in with his pimping me out. But the more he's trying, the more defiant I'm getting.
So he had an issue with you having a male boss, but he wanted you to sleep with other men.
Yeah, he wants me to pass me around the hood to.
And you're meant to be his woman.
Yeah, I'm his woman, do you know what I mean? That's what I get introduced to, you know. This is a man that'll buy me a pair of trainers, took it off me, and then made me walk 2 hours home barefooted just because I bought them trainers and I want back. Like, he used to do, you know, sadistic things like that. And I was back and forth, and then, you know, it's over a year later and it's going on and he's still stalking me and I can't cut that cord. There's just some reason where I think, like, he's the only one that cares about me in the world. My mum and dad are saying it because they're my mum and dad. My siblings are saying it because they're my siblings, but no, he loves me, do you know what I mean? And, you know, you're that brainwashed. And then I had my nana's gold. My mum gave it me, you know, when I went back home, I'd proved my worth, that I could have all my things back. And he pawned it, and I needed the pawn ticket because I'm going to be up shit street. My nana's dead. It's my mum's gold. So I goes to the flat on the promise, you know, I'm getting a pawn ticket back, but I bring my friend this time. She looked a lot younger than me, a lot younger than me. And that's how he liked him. And she walks in the flat, he looks at her, and he's got this. Yes, here's my next one. Kind of look. So when I seen it, like, that's the first time I've seen it, I'm saying to her, you need to get off. Like, you need to get off. Like, I can't have this on my conscience. You need to go. Because the police are telling me there's girls missing from the care homes that he's been seen with and they don't know where he is. From last year and the year before and the year before. And those girls live their life in care. So he's dragging me down the street, like he's saying, well, we're gonna go to the shop. And I'm saying to her, go now while he's not looking, just duck out and go. So she did. So obviously he's smacking me down the street, and that's the night I met Marvin.
Wow.
I run him straight away. So I knew what he was. I knew what kind of man he was. I'd
Did
seen
he
him
already
before.
have that name in Manchester?
He was a little ponce, but he was just a little. He wasn't a nobody on the beat. You know what I mean? Like me and my boys who rolled around on the beat, we was the boys for that beat. He used to come around and we'd dickhead him off because he had his sister working, you know, as a prostitute. And we
can't
was all
respect a
street
man
robbers.
that does
We was all kind of street robbers. You know what I mean? We'd like have girls pretending to be getting punters round the corner and pull the pants round their ankles and then take the wallet, you know, and give the wallets back and not take the wedding rings. And we was conscient, you know what I mean? We didn't want to like bring it bangers for us, you know what I mean? So we'd do robberies on a weekend, but we wouldn't do like crazy ones. You know, we'd give people a wallet back and stick them back in a taxi and get them home. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, as I say, I seen him with her and I said to him, you better leave her alone.
On New Year's Eve, when I left him,
We was walking down the street.
Mark found me again because I'm trying to get home. It's New Year's Eve.
So that's Mark's this man.
Yeah, Mark's this
Can
man.
we keep his name in it? Is that all right? Or
Yeah, it's fine, he's
of course,
convicted.
yeah, he's convicted, yeah.
So
yeah.
he finds me. No, straight away I've been with him. No,
So he
straight
knows.
away. So I'm getting banged all over. So cut a long story short, that was the last time he laid me down and raped me. From that night on New Year's Eve, that's what he did to me. To punish me for talking to him.
Yeah.
That's what he did
but
to
I'd
me.
run him. I told him you better move.
And
so.
that's why he did it. It was game over. I never went back. That's the thing that I needed to go back, because in his eyes, I was his. And that night, that's all he kept saying, you're mine. And I kept saying, but I'm not yours. I'm not yours. I'll keep taking a dig. And he kidnapped me and he took me to Liverpool the next day and wouldn't let me go. And he's ringing me, where are you? And I'm saying, he's got me in Liverpool, I don't know what to do. My dad's ringing me, what do I say to my dad? So he goes, go to somebody, go and find the police, or go to someone in the coach station. So it's exactly what I did. I got someone in the coach station and I said, he's holding me against my will. Like, I need to go home to my mum and dad. And that's the last time that me and that man ever had, he ever, had any control
So
over
what
me.
happened with me is I had nowhere to live. I was living at my niece's house. I had a bedroom. So I said to her, do you want to come and stay with me at my niece's house? You know what I mean? You know, I've got a bedroom there. So I phoned my niece and I said, I've just met this girl, but she's not like the other girls. She's not a drug addict and she's not a prostitute, right?
She's actually a good girl.
She's a good girl. She's just stuck. She went, nah, don't be bringing no smackheads in. I went, she ain't a smackhead. She's a nice girl. Let me introduce you to her. And these two was close in age, you know what I mean? So they was getting on. But me, at the time, I was decorating for a prison worker who worked in the prison system. So before I got out on the last sentence, I got working with this adoption agency worker. She ended up getting into me a little bit, buying me loads of clothes, saying to me on my day of release, do you want to decorate my house for me? And I'll give you £100 a day. So I'm going.
buy you the balaclava you met me in.
She bought me a balaclava, a Nike blading jacket, a pair of gloves and that. No, it was the balaclava I met her in. So I'm going to this. So I say to her, look, you can stay at my niece's house, but I'm going down to this.
To work.
To work every day. I'm getting a one.
And you
know
were
what I mean?
still doing crack.
And I'm still on crack, but what I'm doing is I'm trying to manage my life.
Yeah.
I'm buying bits of crack. I'm buying a takeaway. I'm buying my niece's takeaway. I'm giving you money for cigs and top up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to manage my days every day. So it comes to the head that this woman wanted sex, but I wasn't giving it up. So one
And
day...
you was unaware of this, right?
Well, I knew what she kind of wanted, you know what I mean? But I thought she was just being helpful, having me scrape on the walls. But she did get a little bit too close to me when I'd sit down to wrap a joint and that, you know what I mean? And it made me think, I wonder if she wants something there, but... I was not attracted to her at all, bro. She was everything that I wouldn't be attracted to in a woman. Do you know what I mean? And it's not my cup of tea that, you know, like doing that sort of work. So really, I didn't want to do that. So I tried to. She threw the lips on me one day, and I didn't respond. And then she knew then that I was like not having it. So the next time I went, I took my niece's boyfriend with me, and when she seen him at the front door, she was incensed. She went into her office, slammed the door, and she had a son He was about 14 in his bedroom upstairs. And I remember even him coming down like, what's going on? And I went, Mum, your mum's gone mad type thing, yeah? So he's gone, I'll just go like, so anyway, she got me recalled to prison. So I'm recalled back on my licence.
For what though?
For breach of my conditions, breach of my conditions. So she said, he's not been coming to appointments with me, he's not been working with me, like he's still committing crime, he's still taking drugs, bang, bang, bang. She had me bang to rights, okay? So I get remanded into custody, okay? So while I'm in custody, I've got an illicit phone, not my own. You know, I'm a hitman in prison, so I can get a mobile phone whenever I want off the boys, you know what I mean? Yeah. I do hits for the boys, I sell drugs, work the drugs, make sure to collect all the canteens in for people, do the hits and whatnot. So I'm all right in jail, ticking over. And I've got my mate, a scouse, has got a mobile phone, and I give her the number, and I say to her, ring me, get some top up. Here's top ups. I'm selling heroin actually on the wings for top ups for her. You know, it just is what it is.
Sam's still living with his niece when he went to jail.
She's still living with my niece. So I'm trying to help her, and one day she burst into tears because I didn't know that she was getting beaten up off this guy. I didn't have a clue. I just knew she was like, struggling, right?
Wait, still?
At the time,
I didn't tell him.
Not told me. So
No, sorry. So you're talking about she was getting beaten up before you'd met her?
Yeah,
met
before
her,
I'd met her.
And
Okay,
after.
Yeah, so...
But you said you never met him again?
No, he stalked me up until 2019.
Kept
raw.
coming for her. So
He'd
listen.
done five and a half when he got sentenced.
But he
to
never
5.5.
raped you again?
No, that was New Year's.
So here's what
Okay,
happened.
so he was still in contact, still beating you up, still abusing you, but never actually raped you.
Yeah,
again.
yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
that's
so,
the confusion.
So
Yeah.
I'm in custody. She breaks down one day on the phone and says to me, I've got something to tell you.
Yep.
I was not only being beat up off him, he was beating me up when I was 15 and he was having sex with me. So I said to her, listen to me, girl, very carefully. That man is a sex offender. He's a nonce. Yeah, get him put in prison because that's where nonces deserve to be.
Yep.
Sex offenders. So she went, oh, it's grassing. I said, listen, there's no such thing as grassing a sex offender. The rules are out the window. It doesn't count. And that's what I was convincing her to do. I said to her, listen, because she said to me, child protection team want me to work with him. I said, work with him because he's a sex offender. He was having sex with you at 15. He was taking advantage of you. That's against the law, all right? You know, he's a nonce, yeah? He needs to go... I said to her, nonces don't sit on wings with man like us. They build prisons and build wings to put them on. They don't come on wings with us because if we find out there's a sex offender on our wing, we end up write them off. They get carried off on a stretcher, guaranteed, right? I've never known a sex offender to live with round us. I don't matter who it is, he would get his head smashed in and carried off the wing. And that's what would happen when we found a sex offender. And I was trying to convince her, the man is a sex offender. You need to work with the police. Do you know what I mean? Don't listen to what he's saying, okay? So anyway, she worked with him and he ended up getting a prison sentence, 5.5 years. So while I'm still living...
Did you have to work the trial?
No, we did a plea deal. I dropped... he was looking at a lot longer. I had to do a plea deal. He was going to...
She dropped some of the worst parts of it.
I was a legal age when he raped me, so it was his word against mine. Basically, he was going to test he was in a relationship. If they found him not guilty on that, they was going to find him not guilty on all charges. So I agreed to have left on file. I agreed to have it left on file, so he did. He got sentenced to 5.5 years for the assaults that he did on me. Served half.
And he never left her alone. He used to stalk her in the city centre. She was scared to go in the city centre because he'd be looking for her. So one day, I'm stood on a road with
got an Osman warning put on my life.
Yeah, she got a warning and a proper Osman warning. He threatened to kill her. So one day,
Did they not nick him for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just let you go.
He didn't even tell me when he got out of jail.
So here's what happened.
That's how I found out. His friend come over and said to me, your house is going to get burnt down. So they had to move me to another house, put fireproof letterboxes on my house and everything.
I started catching him. So the first time I caught him, I'm stood there with about 5 boys on this road in town, all these Jamaican yardies who used to sell weed in the city centre. and I'm talking to him all, and I seen him walking towards me, and he's got a girl pushing a pram with a baby in it, right?
Sorry, just at this point, are you two fully in a relationship?
Me and her,
now?
yeah, I'm with her now. Yeah, I'm with her now. Yeah, so I've come out of prison and that, and me and her are trying to make
It's
a
not
go of
clean.
our relationship. I'm still a crackhead, but I don't bring it round her. I don't smoke crack in the house. I go about my business, go make my money, come back, give her a few quid. You know, she's just living a normal
But
life.
she's
with her friends.
your missus at this
Yeah,
point.
she's my missus. Yeah, so I only see him, don't I? So I smack him all over the street. Didn't tell all these boys I was with what I was doing. I just lined him up when I seen him coming towards me. Punched him all over. Said to the girl, "What are you doing with him? That better not be his baby." And she's like, "No, it's not." Lucky not. So he's ran. So every time she's seeing him, he's like giving a shit. You know what I mean? So I see him, and he's running from me now. Every time he sees me, he won't stop for me. You know what I mean? Because I got a big scar on my fingers off him where I caught him in his teeth. So that was that. Then one, it was just trying to live like a normal life, wasn't we?
Yeah, I got moved and then I didn't see him.
Just trying to live a normal life, okay? So I'm a crack addict. She's doing her own thing. One day I get arrested for one of my normal everyday crimes.
He just done a sentence.
And I get arrested on the Friday. She is just finished a job, got a first week's wage, just got a job a first week. She's on her way home. She goes to your friends, don't you, to go and have a drink.
Are you trying to tell my story?
No, I'm going to let you tell it now.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm living a madness life with this one. I'm working. Like, I used to be a grafter. I used to do fraud. I don't want to go to jail. I'm a girl. I don't belong in jail. So I got a suspended sentence and I got a tag. So I thought, nah, it's got to be it. He's driving me up the wall. I've got police coming in and out of my house. I'm running through crack houses like a mad woman, fighting them to get him out crack houses because they're harboring him while the police are coming through my door and I've had it up to where with it. He's disappearing for days on end. Then I might come home and he's there, or I'm getting a phone call from stranger's reception. I'm locked up again. By that point, I've been with him for over 5 years. So I'm used to the rigmarole. He's in and he's out. But it gets tiring. It gets very, very tiring. If you're going to be with someone,
Life of a drug addict is not good, is it?
You've got to have heart. And let me tell you, you've got to have skin that no one can get through. It's got to be that thick.
I think both of you have proved that.
Yeah.
And he was pissing me off. So I got myself, I was looking for a job. So I got myself, he was on the missing list again. I'd not seen him for 4 days. And I got myself a trial shift. I did it, I smashed it, I got the job. So I thought, fucking hell, I've got a legal job, I've got my own flat, Mark's been off the scene for the longest. It's just this one I've got to deal with, got my own little dog. And I'm dead proud of myself. So all my friends are waiting for me.
How old are you at this point?
This was a week before I turned 22.
Okay. So life's about to turn, like, in a positive way.
It's 7 years from the first episode to where I've got now. But I'm in a good place. So it's in the summertime, all my friends are having a drink and a barbecue, and he goes, "Why don't you come up for a drink?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm tired, you know." So I was waitressing. So I'd been on my feet for 10 hours. Don't forget, I'm not used to being on my feet for that long. I'm used to be like, you know, grafting and, you know, stuff like that. So I goes, "All right then, yeah, I'll come for a few. But I've got to be in work the next morning because I got the job." And he was like, "Yeah." So I gets there, and I didn't realise he's been on it all day. So I get there and they're drunk.
They're off their face.
And I'm sober. Like, he don't drink, and I will say to it, "How do you stand in a club where there's you know, you're sober and they're drunk?" So me and my mate, we get into a little bit of a barney because she's like, "Oh, selling us out." So I've gone, "Oh, fuck off, I'm phoning a taxi." And it's like 10 to 12, and I use this firm all the time. It's my dad's best mate's firm. So he comes and it's a new taxi driver. Now I'm going half a mile down the road. It's not even a fiver off the meter. So I gets in and, you know, he's a big guy and he goes, "Want £20 up front?" So I've gone, "All right, calm down." Now, before I went away, when he got off for a few days, he gave me a few ton. I used to do that, you know, give me a few ton.
I used to give her a lot of money. A crackhead, I'd make money, give her 50% of it, know that she's safe, I'd go and smoke the rest and crack.
So stash it away. So we had about 3 ton in my bag. And I tells him where it is. And he goes, "Oh no, you're going to have to give me another £20. I went, "I've just gave you £20. Why do you want £40 off me?" So he was making me head, yeah. So I went to him, give me my money back. I said, I'll fucking walk it. So I've walked this walk. I've walked it at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm game. You know, even though what I've been through, I've never had that happen to me on the street, you know what I mean? But it's a country lane. It's weird. Once you're on it, you can't get off it. You've got to come down or you've got to go up. You cannot go that way or that way. So it's a summer's night. I'm thinking, I can't wait to go home, see the dog. And I'm halfway down the lane and I feel bang. And I'm side blinded like that. And I'm thinking, am I fucking tripping it? And I feels it again and again and again into my left. And I just sees this guy with a balaclava. And me, I've gone to him, do you know who you just fucking hit? Like that. So he's doing it again, but like, I'm losing my senses. And the next minute I wakes up on the ground